So I'm trying a new method of using two kinds of aluminium foil. So the stuff with this white polyethylene is 30 micron. And the tweeter part is going to be 15 micron aluminium. So I'm going to cut two foils in one design, and then it should be at the correct spot, hopefully. So now I'm going to add some aluminium foil here. Thinner material. Where's my blade? Oh, it's underneath my camera. And use this piece of plastic to really get this paper into the adhesive of the aluminium foil. Since it's wax paper, it needs all the strength it can get. Now I load the second program. Which is only the coil, the tweeter coil, that is. Cuts the coil, hopefully. Now the fiddly bit is the tweeter part. What I'll try to do is remove only the backing of the stuff that needs to be sticking to the mylar and not the other part. I could have left this part as well, which might be a good idea, so the mylar is not sticking to the cutting mat. But since I screwed up this cut here, this should be one line and this should be like a square. I screwed that one up. It's not cut, so I made a mistake in the programming somewhere. But let's see if this is possible. Question is it gonna come off from the cutting mat without breaking? That's probably the biggest problem. If it does, so I got my foil here on it, lightly stretched on a jig. I should be able to do 4 panels in one go on this particular jig. some nut down will make it easier to get this excess coil off. Because it's the adhesive on the side of each cup that stick together. That's pretty tiny. I tried this today a few times. But this piece didn't want to cut. It took me like an hour before I thought, by the way, the leftover aluminium I removed every time it failed, it's kind of heavy. Did I take the wrong roll? And yes, I did. It was the 50 microns instead of 30 microns. And flashbacks from the demo set I made, I called it the demo set. I used 100 micron. And I fucked up like a quarter of 50 meters roll just to make 2 panels because it was almost impossible to cut. And yeah, even the 50 micron feels like a zillion times. I'm not sure why. Maybe it needs much more weight, cutting weight. But then again, it tends to grab the aluminium and just slide everything around, and then your design is fucked. So too thin foil is hard to cut. Too thick foil is also hard to cut. And 30 is doable, as you can see. This one has always the best results compared to any other foil I cut. Well, also paper on aluminium foil, like this one, cut pretty nicely upside down. Had no failure after I massaged it into the cutting mat. Now getting it off is still a problem. I mean, it worked right now, but could be better. I think it's always these bends where it's coming off. So I think... Fuck off with your fucking thing. I think I need to make the traces in the bend a little bit wider. Now the question is, does it grip the acrylic adhesive on the tape better than it does on the table? Because I increased surface area for both sides. I think the tape will win then, but I'm not sure yet. It's one of those things. The grip from the cutting mat should also be better if the surface area is bigger, but I think somehow that's not gonna be the case. Like, it's not like one-on-one. This looks pretty nice, I'm pleased. So, ow, fucking hell. Something like this would sit on here, and the holes would line up. Although this one does not have holes here. You will get a few. In this new version I have to recut this as well, because I'm gonna make this a little bit wider. The tweeter is gonna be a little bit wider, a little bit longer. Because the tweeter is not... I think it could be looking... It could look a little bit smoother in the frequency response. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna draw up the rest and cut some HDPL. And I want to replace the magnets on here as well, but that means I have to buy new metal as well. I'll first try this. If this doesn't work, I'm probably want to make new metal pieces, which is, well, expensive if you have to laser it. but it might be worth it. I cannot talk today. One of those days. So, I mounted the panel in the test setup real quick. Added some tapes around the tweeter as usual. And these crappy tapes are holding it in. Well, hopefully. Oh. Ah well. I'm not too sure yet. I mean, it does perform pretty nice, but I might still want to change some stuff. It would be nice if it goes lower, even. But, yeah. And, well, it has an X-max of 2mm, which is way too much. It will never reach that. So, there should be room to, you know, improve some stuff. Or use a different kind of foil, not stretch, maybe. I measured it at 1 meter distance, and mic is calibrated. So I'll show you the measurement. I'll do one right now. It's fucking loud. So that's 92 dB. With the crossover in place, of course. And yeah. Crossover of the tweeter is 1400 Hertz, 12 dB per octave, and the mid-range is crossed at 1200 Hertz, Linkwitz Riley, 12 dB per octave towards the tweeter, and at the moment it's bezel at 390 to the mid or low end, which is not here, of course. And the reason it could be crossed lower, since the resonance is at 235. But I got an abundance of output there, if I cross it any lower. And that has to do with the resonance and probably the baffle size. So if the baffle is smaller, I would not have this gain. And I would not have to use a notch at 400 right now. So there's too much loudness or output in the region of the crossover, even before it starts already rising. So, but yeah, distortion wise, there are a few peaks. I'm not sure if it's the tweeter or the mid-range. That's interesting. I think it might be the tweeter. Yes, it's in the tweeter, for sure. So the tweeter plays really low. I might need to cross that higher, because it contributes in the 600 Hertz as well in distortion. Gotta change that. Let's make it 1600, which is still really low. And I'll up the mid-range up till 1400. See how that goes. Yeah, it lowers that peak a little bit around 2.3 kilohertz, which was the third harmonic I'm talking about right now. 0.195, and it will go down to 0.1. So yeah, but Better is of course fixing that problem, and I'm not sure yet what that is. Could be anything. I think it's damping behind the foil, which is not present. So a piece of felt on the back side, but I might need to put it on the inside of the tweeter. Yeah, it lowers it a little bit. It's not by much. It smooths out it around 3K a little bit. But we're talking 0.0 something percent in the third harmonic, so not a huge deal, I guess. But you can clearly see where the tweeter starts. There the distortion is almost gone completely. Yeah, I think here is still a lot to gain. But I wish to go lower, so I might change this again. I did it like a gazillion times, and I might change the tweeter as well. But this is it for now. So the idea of cutting both coils on the cutting mat, then release them, kind of works. See ya!